love the name. I love the name different than you love the name. I love the name because I know that I am the name. I have now taken on the thought and right to claim the name to be myself. And I understand truly that Yahweh understands as I mess up and gaining my knowledge to be myself. I'm going to be all right. And one of the key things I love about my name is Yud. You're going to always hear me talking about Yud. The children hear me talk about Yud all the time, but you're going to always hear me talking about Yud. And I want to let you know right at this very second, I will not embarrass you, Daddy. I will not embarrass you, Mom. I will not embarrass you and leave Yahweh. I can't leave myself. I will not embarrass you and not make it be known that you have brought on the earth God.
Praise Yahweh. So am I to deduce the fact that when you received that name, Yeshe or Jesse Jr., and that you didn't want the name and wanted to give it back, am I to believe now that you praise Yahweh for it?
I praise Yahweh for every single bit of it. I thank Yahweh because whichever one of y'all chose to give me that name, you was very intelligent on knowing who I am. And I thank you for that because you gave me my name and let me come on this earth to already be who I am. You put my soul in this body. And I thank you for that. I thank you so much for that. Because I am Yahweh Yeshe. Simultaneously, I am the TheeOpenYod. So if you hear about the TheeOpenYod, that's me. And that's you. If you hear about Yahweh Yeshe, that's me. But that's you. Because I am you. And I am Yahweh Yeshe. I showed and demonstrated to them last night about my name and why. Because I said every time people say, boy, Yeshe, you like the #1 hated when people deal with you. They just can't stand you for nothing. So I said, you know why they can't stand me for nothing? It's like this. They don't understand me. And things people don't understand, they fear it. And not only do they fear it and don't want to admit it, they don't know which way it's going to go. They don't know, one moment we think we got him down pat, and the next moment it's like, who is he again? And that's what every teacher had a problem with me in school. That's what every friend that I got in this world experienced. That's what Third Day experienced. They knew they couldn't contain me. They knew that this is a being that cannot be controlled. This is truly Yahweh. This is truly Yahweh. I have to talk to you outside of the box. Yahweh uses different things and he tests you in so many different ways. And when he says things to you, he's also trying to get you to do certain things and go in a certain way. But at the same time, he's not really trying. He's just trying to see what he can do with you. How much you listen to him in certain things. Or are you really Yahweh? Are you really an understanding being? Are you really in control of yourself? Are you in control of yourself, or are you a person that just love to be told what to do? You just humble. You don't understand. You don't try to understand what's being said to you. You just humble. That's not what Yahweh wants. Yahweh wants you to understand. He wants you to question what he's talking about. He wants you to prove what he's saying to you. And show it to him. That's what he's talking about when he say reflect. He wants you to reflect himself back. You can't just go talking to Yahweh about something and he just say, you are right, and I'll do that. No, that's not going to happen. Like he said on his tape when he talked on the radio show, he answered question after question from the people, and Yahweh came and he said, I will never do that again. Because when I did that, I let those people be God over me. when they asked me silly questions. And I responded to it. He said, so now when I go back on the radio show, you can hear this, the show he did with King Solomon. When I go back on the show, every question they ask, I'm going to always answer it in a way to where it fits what I want them to hear. No matter what. All their questions is going to be answered with something that I want them to hear. And that's the name Yahweh. So I took note of that. This is what I'm learning from the name. And this is what I love about the name. I'm loving the name because it's showing me that I need to be authoritative like this and have this power. I love the name Yahweh because I know that when I have and understand this power, I created the sun, moon, and stars. I created the heavens and the earth. Look at all the wonderful things. I'm not just going off of, I'm Yahweh. They told me I'm Yahweh. So I just say, praise Yahweh, I'm Yahweh. No, when I say I'm Yahweh, I go back and look in them scriptures and say, wow, look at what I did as Yahweh. I created the earth. If I created the earth, then I should be able to create the earth the same way right now. If I created the sun, then I should be able to create the sun just like that. If I created heaven, I should be able to create heaven in the same way. But you have to learn. You have to learn. You have to learn. You can't just go jumping off and you ain't learned everything first. I can't go trying to build a car and I didn't get all the knowledge first. So I have to get all this knowledge first. And once I get all this knowledge first, where I'm able to start, because you'll never build a perfect car. You're going to be doing just like the Wright brothers, step by step, a little bit, and it's going to have little falls and stuff until you perfect it, and you only perfect it by keep doing it.
That's right.
So as I'm getting all of this knowledge, and when Yahweh shows me that it's time, and he say, son, you got it, just keep on living is what I say. And if you not able to keep living, children, parents, you living in me, and I share the joy with you, or for you, and everything, and when you incarnate, and you come back and see it, and all of that, Yahweh got a surprise coming. A big surprise. And I'm consciously been working on it now. I've been working on it since the beginning of last year, well, towards the end of year before, and all of last year. And nothing is more better than when people don't know you pregnant. They see you start showing a little bit in that 9th month. But see, it's some mothers that can carry a child and you never know they pregnant. Why? Because they just too big. They fat, so you think they are just fat and carrying a lot of weight. So you really don't know if they pregnant or not. They're able to disguise it good. Well, I'm that Yahweh that is disguising my pregnancy very good. I'm pregnant, and I'm disguising it so good that nobody knows that I'm pregnant. They're just not going to know until the child come out. They're going to say, well, what being is this? Where did this little nigga come from?
Don't want to be a miscarriage, huh?
No, it's not going to be a miscarriage because
It's going to be all together.
It's impossible to miscarry.
Hey,
It's totally impossible to miscarriage. Why? Let me tell you this.
put it all together before it came.
You heard Yahweh said that I gave you life, and the life that I gave you, they can't even see under a microscope. That means it's so small, right? It's so small that you can't even see it with a microscope or with the physical eyes.
Wow.
But it exists, and it is working, and it's controlling this big body, your big body, their big body. It's that small to where it can't be seen, but yet it's still controlling. I am that small point. Yud is that small point, and I am Yud. Yud is the very essence of Yud Hey Wave, the very soul of Yud Hey Wave. If you got the poetic alphabet book of Brother Obed Yishay Obed, if you got that book, well, if you ever see it, you read it. He says in there, he said it, Yud is the very essence. Very means exact, to the point, to the letter, to the T. Essence means his spirit, his soul, everything about him. That means that's what Yud is. And being that I am Yud, did you know that to be Yahweh's very essence, his very soul, his very spirit, that means you existed before the name Yud-Heh-Wav-Heh. That makes you more powerful than the name. And see, I said this on the program on the phone line, and they didn't understand it, but I knew they didn't understand it. I smiled about it. But see, when all this time go by, and when people start listening to it, after our bodies is dead and gone, people gonna be listening to it. They're gonna be like, whoever that brother was that was speaking, he knew. He knew something. And the people in the audience didn't catch on to that. Because guess what? Yahweh just said it to you right to your face on the program, and y'all didn't pay attention to it. He told you that you ought to sing praises to Yahweh and then to his name. That means that Yahweh exists even outside of his name. That means that it don't matter if you erase the name, he still exists. Because he made the name. That makes me more powerful than the name. So when they come to me and they ask me, well, Yishay, are you Yahweh? And I say, I'm more than Yahweh. That's going to scare people half to death.
You're going to say you're blaspheming then.
Yes, you are a blasphemer.
Yeah.
I tell them, they say, well, Yishay, are you with the name? I say, I'm before the name. How can you say you before the name? Because I'm you. Don't you sit at the beginning of the name? Check out beginning. Study beginning. You're going to see it says before. Begin. See, I'm before the name. You have to understand that. You have to understand that I'm before the name. I don't need to carry the name. I started the name. And when you start the name, notice that there's not another Yud after that. It say Yud-Heh-Wav-Heh. Yud-Heh-Wav-Heh. You didn't need to do nothing else. He let Hey and Wav take care of the rest.
That was just shade that name.
See, when you happy that you alive and you realize that you alive, it's hard to stop saying, I'm happy I'm alive. It's hard. It's hard to, keep saying it and nobody don't understand it. It hurts.